Hi, welcome back to 90% Knitting, sort of an addendum to episode 224, which I recorded earlier today. And again, my name is Lisa. I am Fiber Nymph on Ravelry and Instagram, and I am the dyer behind Fiber Nymph Dye Works. This is the shop news segment, which I did decide would be best put in its own little video, so it's easier just to watch that or not watch that and not be scared away by a podcast that's over 2 hours long. So this is the shop news and shop update preview part of today's episode. First, a little bit of admin. I wanted to thank everybody who shopped my progressive sale over the small business weekend, like Small Business Saturday weekend. I did the sale over that weekend. You guys pretty much cleaned out my inventory. That's all that's left in there right now. It's kind of crazy. It's very empty. But thank you, and I hope if you ordered something that you are enjoying it, and there will be new things going in very, very soon. Also, I want to let you know, if you're a member of the Killarney Collection Club, those shipments all went out before the end of November, so hopefully you have yours already, because I don't think I have any international. I don't remember if there was any international members in that club or not. But anyway, regardless, you probably have your yarn already. So I hope you're enjoying that. I know one person has a finished object posted in the spoilers thread on the Fiber Nymph Dye Works board. That was really awesome to see. I love seeing these colorways worked up, so thank you for posting that. I'm hard at work getting the Pie of the Every Other Month Club shipment ready to go out at the end of this month, the first shipment, so stay tuned for more news on that. Also, let's see, what else do I want to tell you? I knew there was one other thing. You have till the end of this month to post any Fiber Nymph Dye Works finished objects in the fourth quarter finished object thread on the fourth quarter finished object thread. Oh my gosh. Let me try that again. The fourth quarter finished object drawing. You have until the end of this month to post your pictures. It could be anything that you have knit or crocheted or woven out of Fiber Nymph Dye Works yarn, any spinning you've done with our fiber, anything, as long as it's Fiber Nymph Dye Works. It did not have to be started in this quarter, it just had to be finished in this quarter. So you have until the end of the month for that, and then the first podcast in January, I will do the drawing for the $25 gift certificate for that quarter. And then we will start a whole new year of quarterly drawings. So that's a lot of fun. All right, lastly, before I show you the stuff that'll be in the update, I just wanted to say this is very exciting for me because I am now coming to the end of my 5th year of business. January will begin my 6th year. It's so hard to believe that I've been doing this long. My first shop update wasn't actually until the end of March in 2011, but the whole dyeing and preparation and everything really started in January of 2011. Actually, it started prior to that, but like really hardcore getting ready for that first update started in January of 2011. So I am very excited to have been doing this for that long. I love what I do, and I would not be doing it if it wasn't for all of you guys who also love what I do. So thank you so very much for giving me 5 wonderful years. I hope I have 5 more wonderful years or more. There are so many changes coming down the road. I talked about this a little bit at the end of the main podcast today, but you know, there's transitions happening, new studio space is coming. My husband and I are building that next year, which is so exciting. It's like a dyer's dream to be able to like completely plan their own studio from the ground up. So I can't wait for that. But it's going to mean, you know, a transitional period where there might be some bumps and gaps and things. But as I said before, most of the changes that I'm implementing to be able to accommodate everything are going to be taking place more on the wholesale end of my business, and it should not impact my direct sales to you, my retail business in my shop, and it shows. Matter of fact, if anything, it'll probably increase. So that's good news for you guys. Anyway, it's a really exciting time. And I have new things in mind that I can't wait to implement in the shop, and I hope you will be excited about them too, starting in January. But anyway, let's talk about the upcoming update. It will be this coming Saturday at noon Eastern. That is a slight change from what I had advertised at the top of the shop page and in the Ravelry in the Fiber Nymph Dye Works upcoming updates thread. I had originally said it would be on Friday the 9th. I hadn't specified a time yet. As it turns out, I just have too much of a scheduling conflict that day to make that work. So I've just pushed it back a day. So it will be Saturday, this Saturday, the 10th at noon Eastern. And I hope that works out well for everybody. So let me show you what I have. I am apparently still in holiday and Christmas colorway dyeing mode. I just can't stop. Because of many requests for the Welcome to Whoville sock blanks, I did dye up a few more. I will have 2 more up in the Happenstance sock blank and then a couple more up in the Happenstance with Sparkle sock blank. So this will probably be your last chance to get these. I don't think I'll do any more of these this year, but there will be 4 more up there this year, or this next update anyway. So there are those. The other holiday colorways I dyed for this update are ones that I have not dyed at all this year. So, and this is probably going to be your only opportunity to grab these too. These are ones that I haven't done in a while. Matter of fact, I'm not even sure I do them every year. This one is a spin-off of my TARDIS colorway that I don't dye very often anymore because I feel like the people got saturated with it. I dyed it so much because it was in so much demand for so many years, and then that kind of tapered off, which is par for the course. You know, you have really popular colorways and then they kind of go away. But I did a Christmas TARDIS colorway one year, and I've done it maybe a couple of times since then. But it's fun, and if you're a Doctor Who fan, you might like it. So there will just be a couple skeins of this, and these are on bounce. So you've got the TARDIS blue, and then you've got some gray, and then you've got the white of the windows, but it's going to go blue, and then you're going to have a little green mini stripe and a red mini stripe for the Christmas decorations on the outside of the TARDIS. And then you'll have your gray and your white, and it'll work back on itself. In the listing, I always put up a graphic representation of how the striping patterns work, so you'll be able to see how this stripes up. But this is Christmas TARDIS. Again, there's only a couple skeins of it, but hopefully you can grab it if you want it. These two are ones that I came up with kind of at the same time, and it was funny because I dyed up one and then I dyed up the other, and I thought, oh, I don't know if I should do that because they kind of look similar, but they're actually very, very different. This one is one that I actually showed you in the first part of the podcast because I'm knitting up a pair of socks out of this colorway. This is Merry and Bright, and it's just a really happy, warm, holiday-ish color. All those rich reds and browns and greens, bright green. Then this one is, I would say, kind of a fraternal twin to that. This one is Father Christmas. We've still got the reds and browns and greens, but it's a totally different red. It's more of a muted old-time Father Christmas red, and then the brown of his sleigh, and the deep green, that deep foresty green. So it's a very nice colorway if you like that more old-timey Christmas colors. So those are the remaining holiday colors that I have for you this time. I have, in addition to that, a couple of odd things, not odd, but just one-offs, I guess. I have one skein of Hallow Pie, which was my Halloween pie color that I did this year. Someone had requested this as a special order, and since I dye in sets of 2, I have an extra. So if you're the person who ordered it, it is coming to you. It'll be in the mail tomorrow. But there's an extra one, so if you were looking for that and you missed it, this is probably your last chance to get it for a while. Hallow Pie, and that's also on bounce. All of these so far that you've seen have been on my bounce base. I also have this skein, and this is truly a one-off. I just had some extra dye left over, and so I grabbed a skein of my DK weight, my Bonafide base, and I made a really fun variegated colorway, and I love how it turned out, so I may try to recreate it at some point. But it's got a lot of gray and sort of that bright aqua shock blue in there and kind of this raspberry red. So anyway, and there's white still in it too, like the natural color comes through. So there is that. No speckling in this one. This is all just variegated. Okay, then I decided to play with sock blanks some more. I'm having fun trying to take self-striping colorways and translate them into a sock blank form. Not necessarily to be self-striping, but just to see how they might play out on a sock blank. So I did that with one of my very long-standing popular colorways that I don't get to dye very often because of the labor intensity involved, but people still like it, and so I thought I'd try it on a sock blank, and that is Nyan Cat. Now, before I show this to you, I just got to say, if you're familiar with what Nyan Cat looks like, you're going to look at these sock blanks and say, wow, that looks really different. And it does, because the way a sock blank takes dye is so very different than the way a skein of yarn takes dye. But it's the same colors, and the way I did it, it's a very muted version. So this is what we've got. This is a Nyan Cat sock blank, believe it or not. So you've got the pink of the Pop-Tart Kitty, and you've got the gray, and then there's also gray in the cat, and then you've got all those rainbow colors. That's all 6 rainbow colors speckled in this big section between. So it's the rainbow that Nyan Cat has flying out behind him as he flies through the sky. It's mainly the pink and the gray that is much more muted than it tends to be on the actual skein of yarn, but it will still be really interesting to see knit up. So I did a couple of them on the regular happenstance blank and then a couple of them on the sparkly blank. I usually always do Nyan Cat just on the sparkle base on my bedazzled, but I decided to do a couple on each just for the heck of it. Now, the only other thing that's different about this, as opposed to when you buy Nyan Cat from me, is Nyan Cat comes in a set. It comes with the full skein of Nyan Cat yarn, but then it also comes with the half skein of the navy blue for the heels and toes. I did not dye up any half skeins of navy, but I can do that if you would like that. Otherwise, you could just have the Nyan Cat sock blank. I don't know, I just thought it was fun. I had fun playing with it. So if you like it, grab one. And even if you don't like it because it's Nyan Cat, it is a fun, speckly, bright colorway. So, okay. 2-ish more things. I did, and I have not done these in a very, very long time, I did some of my progressive gradient sock sets. I don't do these very often, but I had some skeined up that have been waiting around for my attention, and so I did them this time. These are 7-segment gradients in 2 twin balls. So these are each 50 grams. They will match. The segments will match up for you. So there will be 2 sets in the Deep Waters colorway. I do Deep Waters both in a 5-segment and a 7-segment colorway, but this is the 7-segment gradient. So it goes from black to dark gray to peacock to turquoise to a turquoise green up through a very light turquoise green. So those are Deep Waters. Sorry, I'm like blanking on the name. This one is my Shebang colorway, which is a bright 7-colored colorway. Very bright, very fun. So you get 2 half skeins of that. This one is 7 Deadly Sins. Now, here's the 7 Deadly Sin colorway. So there's 1 color representing each of the 7 Deadly Sins. When I do this as a self-striping yarn, I have a wee stripe of black in between each of the sin colors, so to speak. Obviously, doing this as a 7-segment gradient, I could not do it that way. But what I have done is I have half skeins that are going to be available in soft black, silver gray, and the white undyed color. So if you get any of these, you could just pick up a half skein and add that to this, like the heels and toes and cuffs or whatever you wanted to. So you could still technically get the black in there with this, but otherwise you're just going to have some very bright, sinfully bright colors in your Seven Deadly Sins progressive sock gradients. And then lastly, this is Frozen Fairy, which this goes from a very deep purple up through a couple lighter purples into sort of a silvery blue, a darker silvery blue, and then into a very light color in the very middle, a light silver blue. I don't want to pull it out because I don't want to mess it up. Maybe on this side you can see it a little bit better. It's more of a gray, not a blue. I'm sorry, I misspoke. But anyway, again, 7 colors, 250 gram matching balls. So gradient socks. It's hard to do socks as a gradient in a full skein, but when you have the 2 half skeins, it works out well. So again, like I said, I have half skeins of soft black, silver gray, and white. If you would like to grab one of those for heels and toes, really on any of this. I mean, even the Nyan Cat, if you wanted to grab one of these, that would work for that too. Okay, lastly, this is one that I'm super excited about. This is a new colorway, and it's very special to me because of what inspired it. You hear me talking a lot about the mountain house, which is the house that I share with my new husband up in the mountains about an hour away from here. I love it. It's truly a very wonderful, magical, peaceful place for me, and I have been inspired by it in so many ways, but I finally came up with a colorway to celebrate that. And this one is specifically the mountain house at winter time. I haven't officially named this yet. It's probably going to be something like that, mountain house in winter or winter mountain house. But this is a new 6-stripe colorway. So you have the green, the deep green of the pines and the trees all around us. And then you've got this, let me find a good chunk of it so I can show you, this brown. Nope, that's not brown. There, brown. That represents the log house because it's a log house that we live in. And then you've got this warm gold color. I'm sorry, I'm trying to grab these strands just to pull them out and show you. They're not cooperating. Okay, there's the warm gold color of the fire on our hearth. We've got a beautiful big stone fireplace that we like having fires in the winter, so there's that. And then going outside, you've got that silvery gray smoke coming out of the chimney. And in the wintertime, we've got all the snow, and believe me, we get snow up there. So we've got the snow, and then we've got this fabulous red. Our house is surrounded by holly bushes, and so there are just red berries everywhere. And in the winter, the cardinals are especially vibrant. So the red is for the holly berries and the cardinals. So I have 4 skeins of this available, 2 on Squish 2.0 and 2 on Heavenly, which is my MCN base. I can't wait to knit one of these up myself. I haven't dyed myself a skein of it yet, but I'm going to, because I think my husband and I each need a pair of socks out of this. But additionally, I also did some mini skein sets out of these colors. So all of the exact same colors that are in the self-striping, just in 20-gram skeins. So it's a 6-skein set, so you're getting 120 grams, 480 yards. So those will all be in the shop too. All right, that is everything. Oh, it's not everything I have for you. The other thing I wanted to let you know is I have coming up, when I was talking about things are going to be changing in the shop, one of the things that's changing is I'm sort of reworking some of my bases that I carry, and a couple of them I'm going to be discontinuing. One I have hardly dyed at all, so you're not going to miss it, so I'm not even going to talk about it. But one of the ones that I used to dye an awful lot, and I have not in recent years, interest in it seems to have tapered off some because of other bases that I've gotten in stock, is my Sunshine base. Sunshine is a lightweight, 3-ply, light fingering base, 100% superwash merino, 490 yards per 100-gram skein. It is a lovely base. It's very nice for shawls, anything like that. And that's what I used to mainly dye it for. I really never did it in self-striping because it doesn't have nylon in it, so it wasn't one that people gravitated towards for socks. But it's very nice otherwise. It's not one that people are going to much right now. And so I have decided that I'm going to eliminate that from my lineup. However, I do have several skeins of it left in stock. I have not done an actual count. It's less than 20. I know I don't have 20 skeins of it left. At least I don't think I do. I'm going to put those up in the shop just as special orders, and I'm going to discount them. You can choose whatever colorway you would like me to dye up on those skeins. Any tonal or variegated or the variegated speckled colorways I've been doing, or even a semi-solid. It's your choice. I am going to discount those skeins fairly significantly over what they would normally go for, just because I do want to move them out of stock and I want to get them to you guys. I have done those in gradients in the past. However, since I have to do them in gradients in sets of 2, the only way I would do them as a special order as a gradient is if you do buy 2 of them and want the same exact gradient in the same colorway for both skeins. So anyway, I will list those and I'll explain all of that in the listing, and hopefully I can pass off some of the last of that yarn to you guys and you can enjoy it if it was one that you really enjoyed. I apologize for having to get rid of it, but you know what? I've got so many bases and I have a couple more that are probably going to be joining my lineup in the new year, that I have to keep it manageable. So it works out well for you because discount special order, nothing like that, huh? Okay, well, I'm going to stop now and get this processed too, and I will see you next week. But in the meantime, remember the shop update will be on Saturday, December 10th at noon Eastern. All right, take care.